The second film we're going to look at is To Live by Zhang Yimou. This film was banned in China due to censorship and Zhang Yimou's depiction of the Cultural Revolution and communism. What a surprise! The Chinese Film Bureau banned a film with negative views of the government. Okay, so we all know communism is bad. This movie portrays Mao Zedong as a national hero and is highly respected by everyone. Well, kind of. Yes, at one point in time, Mao was considered a hero by many people. Can you believe it? As a sign of respect and approval of the marriage, Wang Ershi and his fellow Red Guards painted a huge portrait of Mao Zedong in Fugui's house.
"忙着呢。我带着厂里几位同志，把屋里屋外都收拾了一下，房上的旧瓦也换了，要不怕下雨漏着。院里墙呢也都粉刷了一遍。
In the midst of the Cultural Revolution, Fugui is convinced by the village chief to burn his shadow puppets because they are deemed to be counter-revolutionary because they were a part of traditional Chinese culture.
留不住了，烧！
So you'd think that the village chief, who has status and power, would therefore be safe, but not so in the Cultural Revolution. Many people with status, power, education, and wealth were targeted and punished. The village chief was targeted for his status in the village, even though he was actually a strong supporter of the communist ideals. The poor class, like Fugui and his family, do not actually believe in the communist agenda full-heartedly, but they follow them in order to survive. One of the reasons why Fugui and his family were safe was his contribution and efforts to the Cultural Revolution. After coming home from the war, the village chief awarded Fugui with a letter certifying that he had paid his contribution to the war by providing entertainment and services to the troops. As a proven communist, Fugui and his family were safe from persecution by the Communist Party.
你找什么呢？
我找那张革命的证明呢。
啊，洗了？
没洗没洗，哎，在这儿呢，有。
还好还好，快扛好。
这可得收好了。
你没记错吧？咱的成分是老百姓吗？
没错，是老百姓，叫个城镇平民。
平民好，平民好，什么都不如当老百姓。
Although Fugui and his family are safe from persecution by the Communist Party, Fugui's daughter, Fengxia, is targeted by the neighborhood bully because she is mute. For revenge, her younger brother, Yu Qin, dumps a large bowl of spicy noodles on the bully's head at the community dining hall. To enforce family values, Fugui hits his son as punishment for not apologizing to the bully. Yu Qin disrespected his father in front of the entire village at the dining hall by not obeying his father's orders. Yu Qin was not being punished just for his lack of respect, though. Fugui was trying to protect his family by keeping them under the radar. Yu Qin's action led to a public spectacle that attracted too much negative attention to their family.
这事儿就是搞破坏，这是破坏大食堂。对，破坏大食堂，就是破坏大跃进。反正孩子干不出这种事儿来。刘庆，看你干什么呢？这是。去给人道个歉，说做的不对。去。我叫你的听见没有？去不去？
不去。
你去不去？
不去。
Well, that's about all the light-hearted fun in this movie. The remaining part of the film has a lot of death. What a major downer. The first death in the movie is the death of Yu Qin. While going to school to help clean, he falls asleep near a wall, which collapses on top of him, and he's killed instantly. Fugui partly blames himself for the death of his son because he forced him to go to school to help clean instead of letting him stay home to rest. Parents. Indirectly, Fugui also blames himself for the death of his daughter, who died while giving birth. During the Cultural Revolution, all doctors were imprisoned in labor camps. When there's a complication during Feng Xiao's pregnancy, her husband retrieves a doctor to oversee the birth. Suffering from starvation, Fugui decides to give the doctor some buns to eat. Combined with too much water, the doctor suffers from a food coma, and so he's unable to aid the nurses. With no experienced doctor on hand, Feng Xia dies while giving birth.
吃了7个馒头撑着了。
怎么给他吃那么多？
谁呀？不知道啊，一下没看见，他就全吃了。他说他3天没吃饭了，刚才喝水的时候他已经好了。
吃多了不能喝水，不能喝水。
Although Fugui had good intentions for his family, you could say that he was pretty much to blame for the death of both of his children. But on a positive note, the movie ends with Fugui, Jiazhen, Wan Erxi, and Mantou visiting the graves of both Yuqin and Feng Xia. Through all of the hardships he's had to face, Fugui still managed to look optimistically towards the future, believing that life for his grandson Mantou will get better and better. Alright, now it's time for the fun part. Let's compare each of the main characters from both movies to see who would win in a showdown. Both parents have legitimate reasons to be upset. The grandfather from To Live is being evicted from his house because his son lost ownership of the house while gambling. And the mother from Eat, Drink, Man, Woman is upset because the man she thought she was going to marry is actually marrying her daughter. What a shocker! In a battle between these two, who do you think would win? I think definitely the old guy. He had a cane and threatened to beat his son with it. Plus, he's the one that worked hard and bought the house, while his son gambled it away. The grandfather is a definite winner. Old Chu from Eat, Drink, Man, Woman has to deal with 3 crazy daughters, so you know he has a lot of fight in him. Plus, he's upset that everyone keeps pointing out that he's losing his taste and his food sucks. On the other hand, Fugui from To Live lost everything to gambling, including his wife and his daughter who left him. Plus, he had to fight in the war. Well, okay, he didn't exactly fight in the war. He entertained the troops with his shadow puppets, but that's close enough. Sort of, I guess. Well, who would win this battle of fathers? I think Old Chu wins because he is a mean chef and he can cook a Peking duck. I mean, he's got lungs of steel. Okay, Jiao Zhen from To Live leaves her husband and becomes a single parent while making a living delivering water in the village. Jia Qian from Eat, Drink, Man, Woman ends up giving up a promotion and a job to live in Amsterdam. Instead, she stays home and helps to look after her father. Mother versus daughter. In this fight, I would say the mother, Jia Zhen, is the clear winner. So it looks like the winner of the battle of the 2 movies is To Live. Yay! So I know what you're thinking.
These girls are nuts. They're
Our class, like Fugui and his family, do not follow the communist agenda full-heartedly. But why? What? Blah, blah, blah.